YouTube channel. No matter which sports here, we got it covered. Subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Sports to the bone family. greetings once again in my sports to the bone people. Back at it for another quick live show. Yes, my viewers and subscribers. This one wasn't really planned. I was actually in the afternoon today. I realized that I would have some time on my hand, so I just decided, that we could come on and talk a little bit. I know that further down in the live, some of the regular viewers gonna come on and say, "Boy, they didn't know that the live was." We were gonna go live, but nonetheless, there are a couple of things that we can talk about as we just go through for the next hour or so. Right? Not gonna be on for too long. Have some other stuff to take care of. So, I know quite a few people have some stuff that they want to get off their chest, whether it has to do with the next test match, or whether it has to do with the Ashes. We also see Sri Lanka and Pakistan going on. I don't know if you guys would have seen the O'Shane Thomas interview by now. A couple of days ago, I had indicated that, I had reached out to him and he was okay with doing the interview. So it was uploaded this morning. If you're on and you haven't gotten a chance to see it, you can check it out. It's lengthy. I think it's 40-something minutes, but I can guarantee you it's a good watch. You understand? We're talking about from his childhood going right up into CPL to West Indies cricket to what is happening now. For those who are worried about his fitness condition, you would have heard him saying, that he has actually lost 24 pounds recently and he's working. Not going to talk through the interview. It is there. It is there free of charge. You guys can check it out. So I just going to be on for a little while, read some comments and see what's going on. If you guys haven't been on the media from morning, off spinner Kevin Sinclair, he has been picked up. He's on his way to Trinidad based on what we are saying. Shelan say, I am sending instructions for Puran and Hussein to pull out of the white ball series. TNT will not be disrespected like that. No Bravo or Brian Charles. Asarim Bazarath must go. All right, so this is my answer to this, Sheldon. Darren Bravo does not deserve to make that team. In my opinion, Bravo doesn't deserve to get in there. Bravo doesn't make the team. Arthur Nace is going to play. Mackenzie will play. Brian Charles, I like him as a bowler, but I have no problems with Kevin Sinclair being selected above him. Brian Charles is doing his thing, but Kevin Sinclair, in my opinion right now, is ahead of him. He would have, he did well in the white ball tournament for Guyana, and he also did well in the red ball in the West Indies Championship. Won the championship for Guyana on the final day. So I have no problem with that. I have no problem with those guys not being selected. As much as I agree that when in form, Bravo is probably the best spin player we have right now, but he doesn't make this team right now. Kurt McKenzie and Alec Arthanis need to play the game. So they're probably going to go, in my opinion, Tej Narayan and Brathwaite up there, whether you want to have Kirk at 3 and or Mackenzie at 3, then you have Blackwood and Mackenzie, whichever way you want to do it. Obviously the vice captain won't be dropped off at the first game. So if he doesn't perform in this game, then going forward, you can imagine, he's probably going to be under some pressure. But I have no problem with those two not being in the squad. If anybody looking for me, the 3-day under-19 tournament is where I will be. All right, Sheldon. Yeah, my queen. Sports to the bone. Good job on the O'Shane Thomas interview. Yeah, man, Joes. Thank you. I am happy that you guys appreciate it. I am happy that you guys appreciate the little talk that I had with him. To be honest, the West Indies. If the West Indies continue losing and dropping down the rankings, they will be relegated to associate nation status. And if it continues like that, Amir, I have to agree with you, because at the end of the day, associate nations, they are doing what work to get promoted. So if we are only moonwalking, it is only fair that would happen. I hear they get rid of Reefa, Chase, Mayers, and no Reefa gone. They slowly purging them out. All right, so I don't know, you know. You see, my thing is this, you know. When I see other entities talking about these stuff, I don't really mention it unless it's some you know some a platform that I can say, yeah, you know, they are known to be credible. And you know, so say for example, I see it put up either on the CWI page or like a Sportsmax or ESPN Cricket for one of those places that I can quote them, you know, but I haven't heard anything. You know, I know people probably hearing things through the grapevine, but I can't confirm or deny it because I don't know. Sinclair got drafted. Yeah, man. Yeah. Why Sinclair no performance whatsoever, but he gets selected? Nonsense. Why Sinclair no performance whatsoever? Oh, I mentioned why Sinclair would be in the team just now. You don't watch our regional cricket? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Matt Pryor. I just mentioned why Sinclair would be in the team, you know, so I'm not going to try to set out to convince people why, you know. Good evening, Sports to the Bone. Hope you are feeling much better. I'm here at work, but gonna try and stay tuned to the program. All right, Mr. Davis, thank you for the support. You want to be careful though. You don't want to get in trouble at work because, you know, I am not rich enough to take your on staff. So make sure you pay attention to your work. But as it relates to the flu, it's basically going, you know. Voice still a little bit hoarse. Just have to wear mask in the house around the baby. But apart from that, I'm good, you know. I'm good. Good night, Sports to the Bone. It's time we move on from every live. Kurt, the first statement for Kurt is always move on from holder. Always move from. We hear you now, Kurt. It's time for us to move on from holder Blackwood Roach. And if Tej and Brathwaite da Silva don't get runs in the second test, them places should be in question also. Okay. All right. Finally, no Reefa. I can't confirm it as it because I haven't seen the thing. Hola, Blackwood and Reefa should be dropped from the next match. All right. Chase over Sinclair any day. Haynes smoking some hard. Whatever ridiculous selection. All right. All right. So you say, so this is my question to you now. You said that how is it that Sinclair gets into the team with no performance in it at all? How is it Chase gets into the team? What sort of performance gets Chase in the team over Sinclair? Let me just throw that out there. If West Indies serious, Carty, King, Alec, McKenzie after the series, Pujara joins the list. All right. Why do you say Blackwood cannot be dropped after the first game? Are we ignoring his performance in Zimbabwe and South Africa? No, man, we're not ignoring it. You know, I definitely not ignoring it, and he can be dropped. But I personally would bring him in the next game. And I had said it even before this series that, you know, as the vice captain, if I give him this series and there's nothing from him, then we probably have to demote him and give somebody else a spot. But if he's dropped going into the Trinidad and Tobago game, I would have no issues with it though. I wouldn't have any issues because, you know, I would have to look back at what happened in the last two series, as you said. But personally, I was saying that, you know, I would give him another game. But if they decide to part ways, for no, I wouldn't have a problem. Reefa holder Blackwood and Warwick should be dropped. Arthanese should be promoted in the batting order. He is the best batsman, says Williams. All right, Williams, I hear you. The second test will be finally blow if Hola, Roach, Blackwood, da Silva fails in this series. Hope Shepherd, O'Shane, Thomas King will be soon in the team for 2024. All right. Hope next game Windies make 300 plus. That would be very good. I honestly think West Indies should take 2 years break from international cricket. And I have been asking someone to explain it to me. How would that be beneficial? Our main issue now is that we are not playing enough competitive cricket. So how would taking a break play? How would we keep the players on the books? How would it work? With all due respect, Bravo was the second leading run scorer in the 4-day and only lost the lead in the last two games. He is also at his home ground. And you would have heard me said before, Sheldon, that going into it, if they had selected him in the squad, I personally wouldn't have any problem once he wasn't selected above Arthanes and Mackenzie. And as you said, Bravo had runs, a good amount of runs behind Alec Arthanes. You understand? I am not going to tear down the place right now because he isn't selected. I have always said that as experienced as he is, he shouldn't get back in the team without performance. And he in truth and in fact, did perform. And that is why prior to the series, I was saying that, if he's named in the squad, I wouldn't tear down the place, even though we want to be looking forward. Because I always said that pick people based on performance. But the fact that they went Arthanes and Kirk Mackenzie, who wasn't too far behind, I won't tear it down too much. But I hear you though, Sheldon. Glad they got rid of Rifa. How are we confirming this? Is there something out there that I didn't see? In all honesty, today I was mostly off the internet, so I don't know if something was published saying that he has been dropped, where we have come to this conclusion. I don't know. We need Shea Hope and King. All right. What up with Banner? Was he not sent back to JA to be ready for the spin? That is exactly what the man named Desmond Haynes said. That's what Desmond Haynes said when they were going to South Africa. That listen, they are not dropping in Nkrumah Banner. He's just going to be working and preparing for India. So probably it's the next India tour and not this one that he's preparing for. I don't know. Tej, Craig, Carty, Alec, King, Puran, whoever they choose as the bowler doesn't matter to me. All right. I hear you. Blackwood failed in Australia, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. So why does he have to start fresh at the beginning of each series and ignore the other parts? That is what I'm saying. Personally, I don't want him to start fresh. My thing is this: he's not scoring runs, and I've always said that as a specialist batsman, you need to be scoring centuries. So this is not me backing him. But my argument has always been, as poor as the team is and as poor as everything is, Blackwood has always been the second most run scorer behind Brathwaite. And I'm saying that doesn't necessarily mean he's undroppable, because scoring a 30 and a 40 and a 50 year is not good enough as a specialist. So, I was saying that until I see, who they are going to bring in over him, I had no problem with him playing the second game. But as I said, if they bring in Mackenzie and Arthanes for the next game and Blackwood is out, I have no problem with it. Because as you rightly said, he failed in those series. Hope the next test goes at least 4 days. Good day. Yeah, man, Mohammed. Definitely hope that at least 4 days they get out of it. Reefer holder Blackwood need to go. Plus our openers batting too slow. Plus that Silva batting nonsense. Great interview with O'Shane, bro. I'm happy he's focused on playing tests. We may see him soon. This next test should have seen Hope coming in in as well. You definitely will see him soon. Let me just put it that way. You definitely will see him soon. He voluntarily gave me some information, but I decided to edit it out, because I don't want it to look like man, so, but let's just say you will hear his name pretty soon. People calling to remove these guys and can't even name the replacement. That is what I always call for us who read. If you want to remove people, let us hear the replacement. Good interview with O'Shane Thomas. I guess it shows that the player can change their mind about how much of a priority franchise is for them. Exactly. If you're listening to the entire interview, you would have heard him saying, listen, he got the call for the T10 to play T10 in Zimbabwe, but he decided to walk away from it, Can't believe people disrespecting the legend, Raston Chase, our GOAT. Guys, like Blackwood, who has been playing test cricket for a while, isn't getting any better. I agree, Wayne. If you're playing for a while and the average is certain number, you keep on doing the same thing, it probably means you're not improving. Warrican to bat at 5, probably to bat at 3. Good evening, Sports to the Bone. I really enjoyed T20 in the MLS. I think it's MLC. DJ Bravo rolling back the years. 76 of 39 deliveries was a good watch. DJ Bravo scoring 70 odd. Sports to the bone. I think they should learn their lesson and don't go back where it was from the first test. Okay. All right. Also, Jason Hola gets out hooking on a regular basis. He saw the Indian team trying to set him up with the short ball, and he played right in their hands. Exactly. And we spoke about this on the last live show, Wayne. You see, we spoke about this on the last live show, but sometimes when we highlight these things, people think we're picking on their favorite players. Jason Wall always gets out to that shot. When he middles it, it goes, but very rarely does he middle. Joshua De Silva tends to get out the same way, playing around his pad and getting out LBW. Blackwood gets out the same way. You know, they set the same feel for most of our players, the same feel. And put them under pressure, and they will play the same shots. You know, so but when you highlight these things, people behave as if you're fighting the players. For a big man, Desmond Hayne doesn't why I said he tells lie, I don't know. Kurt says King, Alec, Mackenzie, Sinclair, Shepard, O'Shane, Hope, Joseph, Jair McAllister, Ryan John, Mayers. The test 11 for 2024. All right, I hear you, Kurt. I hear you, Kurt. We need one next Kyle Mayers innings. Well, like what we had in what? Zimbabwe or his bowling. I saw something about Reefer getting dropped for Sinclair in an article on Sportsmax website. That's what I'm saying. I know that Sinclair is going to be in the squad, but I didn't get a chance to read it. So I'm going to read it after. You know, I was home for the entire day, occupied today. So I will talk about it tomorrow morning. All right. Yeah, blessings. 0. Let me see your 11 for okay. Why not bring in the new players? We can't win the series, so we have nothing to lose. Why wait till next year to give the debut? And it's the same thing I said on the last live show. You know, I would want to see them play. I was worried about playing the two debutants, but when I look and you know, we won't be playing a next test match until probably next year, January. So I would have no problem if Kurt Mackenzie and Alec play in these games, you know, and Kevin gets an opportunity. I wouldn't have a problem. I would have dropped Blackwood for Bravo, who will be the senior to guide Kirk and Arthurnes at the QPR. QPO, Queen's Park Oval. It is not easy to bat there. And I can understand Sheldon. I can understand because Bravo, has the runs behind his name coming out of the West Indies Championship. And as you said, he would be the senior guy in the middle there. He wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I wouldn't necessarily only pick him because it's his home and I want to draw a crowd. Once a man deserves to make the team, he makes the team wherever. I can understand you saying that he would play base and the fact that he knows the place. But once a man deserves to make the team, I would play him where and notwithstanding. Like O'Shane going to play the white ball versus India. We haven't seen the squad, so let us see. That would be good though. Sports to the bone. Reefer is out, replaced by Kevin Sinclair in the 13-man squad for the second test. All right, Meredith. I wonder if this is Meredith that reached out the other day and said that he was unable to comment. Jacob said, Jesus, we're talking about the beating that we got the other day. Sports to the bone. Why don't we think he's saying source player? Maybe I'm reading. Why don't we source? I think he's saying source players. Explain what you mean. Well, Reefer gone now, so young Kirk in the squad. Was expecting King and Hope to come in also. Can't wait to see Sir O'Shane Thomas back in the colours, and shame on Jamaica for turning their backs on him. You see, when it comes on to Jamaica cricket, some weird things go on in a bridging. You heard the man say that, listen, when I leave from country and go to trials to try and make it, it's hard. And he's not lying because I personally know 3 players. I know 3 players that could easily make the Jamaica team, and you know, the same sort of foolishness. And Casanova, you probably know one of them also. You probably know one of them that would have gone to the Jamaica. He went to Jamaica under 19 trials and he was the top scorer, scored more than 1 century, took wickets, and they didn't select him because I tell you, some pure corruption, man. Sports the Bone, with everything that has happened with West Indies cricket for the past months and the players' dismal performances, what say you about sports psychologists to help the players? I mean, if you're bringing a sports psychologist, you want somebody to help them to lift the morale around the team. You want them to that is if it affects them any at all, because some of these players, when they lose, they just say they sweep it under the carpet and they just go against. I don't know if it even affect them mentally. I think it has to do with ability, in all honesty. I think it has to do with the players are just not good enough. So even if you bring them in and you get them to the place mentally, when they go out there, they're still not going to play a Brian Lara innings because they're not Brian Lara. Is a reason why Sarwan and Shandapal and Gale, Lara, Marlon Samuels, those guys of that era, is a reason why they were able to perform now, because they're actually they are cut above what we are seeing now. So you probably want to help a man mentally, but it don't necessarily mean so them going to be too good, You recover from the flu, brother. It is still here, but I'm doing much better. You probably can hear it a little bit, but no, it go, man, not too bad. Don't know yet. All right. Remove all players and replace them with the young ones in the 18-man squad. If we lose, it's nothing different from losing with the old non-performing ones. At least we can work with the young ones. All right. Sports of the Bone, Shandapal, Brathwaite, and Blackwood need to correct themselves for the next test. Alrighty. Hopefully for the Super 50, the 10 group stage games instead of 6. We need more cricket. And that is, you see, Reed, and that is why I say I can't understand when people say we need to take 2-year break from the cricket. Because the main problem is that we are not playing enough cricket. When you take a break, what are you going to do to hold the players? What are you going to do to keep the players in the region? What are you going to do to stop the players from going and everybody from going and play franchise? I just can't situate. Me not understand it. What about the live chat? If at the end we have a couple of minutes, I will definitely give you guys an opportunity. But this one is a quick stop live today. I actually have to run out pretty soon. But I will definitely leave at least 10 or so minutes at the end as per usual to give you guys a chance to come on and say. But I'll go and see if I can read some comments. Out of our 2 openers need dismantling. Both of them are walking wickets. Two have the same thing. Pinned to their crease, letting the bowlers put the ball in the same place. Yeah, all right. Sports of the Bone. People push for overseas players of the West Indies heritage to rebuild the team over to you, Mr. Reds. I don't know how much that will help to rebuild the team and future. You want people coming through to still understand that there's a pro. You still can make the West Indies team. You understand? You don't want people to think that the only way to fix the problem is to go overseas. But I hear you. Brian Charles must be in the doghouse. And say Bravo is a joke. Also for a red ball season, I need them to play minimum 10 games. Yeah. All right, Sports of the Bone. I think Queen's Park Oval has a good pitch, so there is an opportunity to win the match. There's an opportunity to win the match, yes, but the opportunity is there for India also. The game against India, the game in Dominica, there was an opportunity to win the game, and India won the game. Jerry says, need someone with Brathwaite to bat with more aggression. We know how Brathwaite do his thing already. Young Shandapal putting too much pressure on Brathwaite. Captain Mackenzie, Shandapal, Alec, King, Da Silva, McAllister, Jordan, Shannon, Joseph, and Charles in that order. Can't believe they didn't pick our Brian Lara Jr., aka DM Bravo, in the second test. All right. Reefer out, Kirk McKenzie in. Give this guy his debut. Don't wait until January against Australia to give him a chance. Not even only because it's against Australia, but because it's so long. You know, what we know, July, you're going to have to wait the rest of the year, you know. So, I don't think Bravo will be back in the maroon colors. That's for him. That's it for him, in my opinion. But selectors might surprise me. All right. Rubbish. Hussein is not a wicket taker. Seals got no pace to bowl out a team. And Puran is an ODI T20 player. And Tej and Brathwaite places will be questioned in the second test. Sinclair is in and Reefer is out for the second test. So Kirk McKenzie should make his debut. However, I would have called up King or Hope for the second test. Jason Holder needs to question his sanity. Keeps getting out the same way, as they say, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is the very definition of insanity. We need King Hope. We need King Hope Puran in the test team. All right. Bravo needs to improve his leg side game. He never had one and never looked to develop it after so many years. What a joke, he says. Mr. Frank, right now, Holder shouldn't even be in the team. The guy has been failing for almost 2 years. As long as Desmond Haynes and his cronies are there selecting the team, West Indies cricket will never get better. All right, ready. Besides the lack of regular cricket at a high level, the problem is mainly the mindset. Look at Arthane's strength of mind in winning. I said Arthanes because we are talking about Arthanes. Alcaraz's strength. Funny enough, I think it was a day or two before. Thing that came out and said that he's not going to lose. Novak Djokovic came out and said, listen, is it Djokovic? Said that he's not going to lose any at all. Yeah, man. I didn't watch it, I actually didn't watch it. Tennis is one of those sports that I have to be there to watch it. I can't watch it on TV. And I can coach it, but I can't sit down. I can't watch it for too long on the television. Sports is bound for West Indies cricket to improve. Desmond Haynes and Bajan gang must go. West Indies used to beat India when they played 4 fast bowlers. The problem at that time, we had 4 quality fast bowlers. That's the difference. The crazy thing about Jamaica now, most of the young, super talented players who are in the rural side pay attention to Taki High School and Stets also. And Casanova, it's not just recently, It's not just recently Taki High School and Stets producing them, I mean, the problem is when they finish high school and to move on, club cricket is more organized in Kingston and St. Catherine. So that's the difference. But as it relates to high school, they have always produced some excellent cricketers. I remember when I was going to Abutnat Gallimore, when I was going to high school there in St. Ann, and we went to Taki. I wasn't on the Headley Cup team at the time, but John Campbell and them guys were at Taki. I'm almost certain that when I just started going to Abutnat, before I even started playing on the Manning Cup team, I went to a game there and John Campbell was there playing. And quite a few of them, States, as I said, produce a whole lot of good cricketers. Manchester, quite a few of them. York Castle High School, York Castle produced some quality cricketers. Brathwaite is chucking and pelting, very shameful. He says, all right, good afternoon, all. Peter, blessings. From the time I saw Laura return home after the camp and was not at the ground for the test, I knew there is trouble in the camp. Plus, you have to remember, sometimes we probably tend to reach, remember, he's not there as a coach. He's not there, to be with the team 24/7. He's there as a quote-unquote mentor to talk to them. So, you know, when you look at other teams, our team openers score the slowest. Yeah. Brathwaite needs to focus on his batting and leave bowling alone. West Indies cricket is overrun by the you have to take time with me now. Remember, me can't read, ineptitude of board and selectors. I hear you. Desmond Haynes as chief selector is a massive failure, he says. If you have players making the West Indies making nice 45 and 70 in the regional tournament, how do you expect them to make centuries? Ronald, what's going on here? How much money that? What about this? Am I seeing correctly? Somebody tell me if I'm seeing correctly. What's going on there? Ronald, how much that? 320? Am I seeing correctly? Is that some super chat coming in? Shout out for the super chat. Shout out. Remember, guys, the super chat is there, but you know how we do it over here. We come and we read comment section and we appreciate everything. I don't know if I'm seeing correctly. How much is that? How much is that, Ronald? Big up. Thank you, same way. We appreciate. West Indies culture of losing infects everyone who joins the team. It ruins the young talents like Shandapal and King. I'm worried for the promising Arthanes who has now joined the Meadows. Why can't WICB organize some tests against some countries that don't get much after India to keep the players playing 5-day match? Exactly. But the problem, it all has to do with the money and organizing tour. Remember, nobody now to sponsor West Indies, and the board still have to pay the players them on contract and everything. So, Brathwaite and Shandapal needs to separate. One goes to 4 and Kirk opens, so we can have somebody playing some shots. Sports to the Bone, we have 5 test tours next year. Well, hopefully we will have some players, part of the problem is West Indies don't have proper grassroots training. I agree. And every time I see this, I tell you that I agree. Because you know, first hand, I see it. Yes, try all the youngsters. We have nothing to lose. Sports to the Bone, since they are not bringing back Bravo, I think they need to stop talk about him full stop. I mean, people will talk, Bravo 88 runs from 40 balls. Jay can say, I played with John Campbell, remember? Yeah, I'm trying to remember Jake, and I know that when I was in 8th grade or 9th grade, and just joined the Manning Cup team, I didn't play any game, but I'm almost certain that John Campbell was there at the time. I didn't play in 10th grade. I didn't play in 11th grade. So I'm not sure. But I know that I remember seeing him. I went to a game. I didn't make the play in 11 at the time, but I know that I remember seeing him there. Yeah, Jay can probably played against this. T20 franchise cricket kill West Indies. Cricket men can play for more than 20 overs at a time. DJ Bravo was 5 of 12 balls, so he really exploded. Yeah, I think they're talking about that. Sports to the Bone, who should be on the plane to Australia on the test series and who shouldn't be there? Do you think those questions going to be answered after this series? I think it's a little bit too early. Then again, we don't have a lot of things happening leading up to that, but let us see. Blessings. All right, we're now say, oh, that's $30. All right, man. Yeah, man. Thanks for the super chat. You know, you have to help me out with them sort of things, cause you don't know what going on. Yeah, man. We have definitely appreciate it, though. Appreciate it. Another point on YouTube. The talk is always about coaching, and more coaching. Our guys are just not good enough. We're Sobers, Kanai, and Kalitaran, Lloyd, and Richard coached. I mean, they had coaches, but as you know, we always say the guys, talent is a whole different thing, man. You know, talent is a whole different thing. It's different when you have a talented guy teaching. There are certain things that you don't have to teach them. You understand? There are certain things that you don't have to teach them, and it comes natural. So you know, the certain things you just work out certain tactics, how you're going to win game plan, and so forth. Some of these guys are not as talented as back then, and you know, it might sound that way, but man should stop bringing Darren Bravo name back into discussion. He is an absolute waste of time. So listen, this is how Darren Bravo name gets mentioned each time. Well, not each time, but for now, this is how Darren Bravo name gets mentioned, at least where I am concerned. He didn't do too badly in the 4-day regional championship. And the West Indies team, according to CWI, the test team is selected from that. So once he's there and performing, people will say, listen, this is why. It's the same. I don't understand how people would call for Shea Hope to get back into the test team. And we have seen, you know, them trying him over and over and it don't work. How people, the argument that they use to support that is that Shea Hope is still performing at the international level where ODI cricket is concerned. You know, so I can understand that. But what they use to select the test team, if you're scoring runs in there, even if you failed before, you know, you still probably can't write them off, you know, because they are performing in what they say that you need to perform in. Sports to the bone, I'm late. Big up Sinclair in. What's your thought? I have no problem with that, man. I have no problem with Sinclair being in. That's definitely a good look. 5 test tours, but how many matches though? You don't know, say 2 games, man. You don't know it go. Drop Josh. Neutralists don't want to be part of it. Forget bringing in Gabriel and forget Michael, Darren Bravo. And why is that, Sir Ian? Why is that though? Why is that? Why is that though? Why is that? Is it that you guys think that Bravo should have made that team? Why is it though? Good interview with Thomas, and you should have told him you was one of them that was bashing his weight gain. The thing is, you know, you can't really say certain things outright like that. But listen to the interview. Listen to the interview. You would have heard me saying that when you play red ball cricket, you learn to put a spell together, right? And you would have heard me saying that it's good that you're on a program. It's good that you're on a program that, you know, will get you back in a position to get into the test team. That is me telling him that he's not fit enough to play cricket right now. You guys know why I stay, you know, I call it exactly how I see it. You understand? And the man highlighted it himself, so I didn't need to even say it. The man said that, listen, one of the problems was that he was carrying too much weight. So, you know, you don't want me the entire interview about that. Desmond Haynes needs to go. Cronyism has no place in West Indies cricket. We have serious systematic problems, but the way the team is selected does not help. Start fourth Ashes Test. I am looking forward to it. You know, England, they have brought in James Anderson in the playing 11. They have decided to drop Ollie Robinson. So we will see if it was just a bad game or bad 2 games for Jimmy, or it's really age catching up to him. I think I'm mostly looking forward to the Aussies. Marnus Lamashane. I mean, Steve Smith made a century. I think it was in the first game. But we haven't seen a lot from Marnus and Steve Smith based on what I was expecting. So I am looking forward to seeing him. I am also looking forward to David Warner's battle against Stuart Broad. I think this is going to be the last series for David Warner, where Test cricket is concerned. I think I'm looking forward to seeing England also. Would have been nice to see them bring in Folks instead of what's his name. Would have been nice to see them bring in Folks, but I guess, you know, they have this squad on tour already. But it would have been nice to see Folks playing over Johnny Bairstow. But I understand the way in which they want to play baseball. You want somebody that bats like that down the order there. And Ben Folks is organized. He's gonna give you a good 40 or a good 50. You know, he's not gonna blast away like Ben Stokes. So, not Ben Stokes. What's his name? Like Johnny Bearstow. So I can understand. You know, it's going to be interesting to see the England top order though. I heard John Campbell carry the Taki team to the finals on his back this year. Manchester and Taki share the trophy because it was washed out. Okay, so you're saying this year. Yeah, man, John Campbell was the man. They had a pace bowler at Taki also. They had a pace bowler when we played Taki in under 14 when I was in 8th grade. They had a pace at that time. John Campbell probably was in like, I don't know, 9th grade or 10th grade. When we played Taki, they had a pace bowler there. I don't know if he went on to play under 19 cricket. I don't know how many of you guys are playing cricket and when the bowler is bowling, you are praying that you get off strike and go to the non-striker end. That was how quick the guy was. You understand? So Taki has always produced good quality cricketers. Current crop of players have no discipline compared to the 80s. Exactly. And in all format, we're talking right across the board. You know, discipline in terms of staying out there and batting, discipline in training. Not a lot of these guys like to train. West Indies cricket is at an all-time low. It is depressing as a fan who grew up in the period of West Indies dominance. I can imagine the heartache. And you know the attitude of some of the players aren't too ready. I was researching last night to see if I could find an article addressing something that I saw with Kevin Sinclair. You know, I saw somebody type it in the comment section in the last live show that we did, and somebody reached out to me on Facebook who is pretty close to the family and the situation about, you know, what we hear, that players not wanting people to train hard and them sort of things. You know, but I don't want to break it. I don't want to mention what the person said until I have some stuff to support it. But you know, I heard some people talking it in the comment section the other day about, you know, the situation with Kevin Sinclair and what he's going through with the other players. As I said, I got some first-hand information about certain stuff, but I just waiting for something from the quote-unquote actual media people, and then I'm not looking to run and break any breaking news, you know, to get in any problem. I will come and give the news when it's stale. With the new initiatives to expand cricket in the USA and Canada, they will soon surpass West Indies and the current at the current rate. They have the funds to invest in the grassroots level, and that is true. That is definitely true. One thing I am wondering though, you know, the USA team the other day, they could have selected Corey Anderson. You know, you guys remember Corey Anderson, the former opener from New Zealand. I think he opened in T20 cricket. Corey Anderson, he played T20 and ODIs for them. USA could have selected him, you know, but he didn't make the team. I don't know what the situation was. I don't know if they thought he wasn't good enough or I don't know. But you know, he was eligible to play for them. Who was the coach during the Ambrose Walsh, Lara Chandapal, Viv Richards, Sir Clive Lloyd, Haynes, Sobers, Greenwich era, 70s, 80s, and 90s? I'm trying to remember who was even coaching West Indies when I started watching and understanding in the late 90s, 2000s. Well, I say, get a new team, all right? West Indies team doesn't have a good spin bowler, so I don't know why why they prepare a pitch for India. If we were in India, then it's fine, but we are in the West Indies. I gave my opinion as relates to why that happened. As I said, it was raining the days leading up to the test match, so probably it's a case where they were thinking that, listen, we won't get this pitch hard enough, we won't get it, you know, for to support the bounce and the pace. They probably thought that even though the pitch might be, you know, the ball might not be you know, I don't know. They probably were thinking that they might not get enough pace off it, so they just say, all right, let's just pick the two spinners and see how it goes. But I think they should have just back themselves and went for Shannon. I don't see, I can't see what those two spinners would have brought to the team. I don't know. Sports Bone, what will be your thoughts on Brandon King playing Test cricket? As I said, I like the idea. I like the idea of him playing. He's, in my opinion, technically good enough. I would want to see him his spin playing ability improve, but I have no problem with him playing. I'm just sorry that when they went on the West Indies A team the other tour the other day to Bangladesh, he didn't get some runs. But as it relates to playing, I am all for it. Calling for a boycott in Trinidad is absurd. I as a Trini, no one goes to the Oval to watch West Indies play. Lion, that's the same thing that Fazir Mohammed said the other day, and I had to laugh. The man said that is probably one of the biggest joke he has heard in the Caribbean because nobody is going to the Oval to watch Test cricket anyways. If you want to play on the international circuit, you should be making hundreds at the regional level first. If all you could make is 50 and thing, you just not capable at international level. And it is as simple as that, exactly. And that's why it is so easy to make West Indies team. I know you say it in other. I know you say it in other too, Thomas. Just yeah, you know you can't make it things sound certain way. But the good thing is when a man understand, see it for themselves and understand. Sir Ian, they better don't play with Trini. With TNT, we don't boycott. We do the we go to the ground and stop the game. Derek Murray had to beg for Floyd and WICB. But based on what I'm hearing, Sheldon, you guys not going to watch the game. Good interview. This platform is building, bro. Keep it up. Yeah, man. Thanks. You know. So we're trying. We try. The only problem with these interviews, though, I don't know if it has something to do with my editing software. But when I do the interviews, it is clear. But once I put the interview through the editing software, then it becomes blurry when I upload it. I don't know. Maybe I'm not tech savvy or thing. I don't know. Sports about who should be in the ODI team against India and shouldn't. It's time to bring in some youngsters in the team because their senior players are failing. Nobody cannot tell me I am talking BS. I wouldn't tell you that you're talking BS because, especially because of what happened the other day, I wouldn't have a problem with a couple of new faces in the ODI team. But the problem is, we don't see a lot of these guys dominating the little Super 50 and them things. So, when they come in, you're not even expecting much from them. Pitches in the Caribbean is far cry from the ones from the 80s. Yeah. England and Australia, they are the teams playing Test cricket. Excited to watch. It's like an England. Joe Root is a master class. Exactly. Right now, today's what? Today is the 17th. I was hoping today was the 18th because the next Ashes Test bowls off what? On the 19th. Man, I love them thing there. If men Fred, proper fast bowling, how they feel they could play anywhere in the world. Even Scotland have fast bowlers than West Indies. Then I tell you, man, the other day I saw a Scottish bowler. I don't remember his name. The man clock what? Man clock some 140s, high 140s and 150s, low 150s. I rather play Dorich or Hope next year instead of the Silva. His batting technique ineffective. I think he's saying ineffective against spin and pace. He needs to go back to the drawing board to work on his batting technique. Where playing spin is concerned, if you're an average spinner, Da Silva will survive. But if you're a good spinner, you will get him out because he plays on the back foot too much. He doesn't trust his front foot. I don't know how many of you notice. If you're an average spinner, Da Silva will beat you. But if you are good enough to pin him on the back foot, you will work him out. And we all know the problem with the pace bowling already. I think batting spin is a problem for the West Indies. They master that they can stand. Problem for the West Indies. If they master that, they can stand a chance to make good runs, put pressure on India. Yeah, and I don't know who we have that going master it, Any player who is having issue with another player, training too hard, have no ambition, and their mind is corrupt. Exactly, Shane. Me said the thing hurt me when me hear it, you see, man. I don't know where them get them sort of foolishness there from, Trini is done. Bravo test averaged 36.47 with 8 centuries. He performed excellent in the regional series, and so did Gabriel. Yet only Josh got picked, and many here on the platform want him dropped. Yeah, so where Bravo is concerned, and I said it earlier, you guys would have remembered when people were crying for Bravo to play T20 and ODIs, and I was like, what? That don't make no sense. But if Bravo was selected in the squad, as I said earlier, I wouldn't tear down the place. I wouldn't have a problem because he did some work to get into the squad. My only argument was I don't want him to play above Artanes and Alec, Artanes and Mackenzie. You understand? I won't even talk about his test records because sometimes people have some good test records and they are out of the scene for a while, and when they come back, we don't get anything much from them. My thing with Bravo is that he did the work, so if he was in the squad, I wouldn't have a problem. I know people want fresh blood and thing like that, but I always say that the fresh blood need to outperform the old blood, so to speak. Sir Ian, you made a comment the other day that I replied. I don't know if you saw my reply. When you were asking me, how is it that, for example, Jamaica and France and these, Jamaica can select players where football is concerned, select players from all over the world to play for the national team. But why is it that West Indies cannot select players that are playing franchise cricket to play for West Indies? And you said it's the same thing for France. Why is it that they select players that are playing club football and it's simple. It's simple answer. CW have their policies and they come out and they say it all the time that in order to play test cricket for West Indies, you need to play in the regional cricket. In order to play regular white ball cricket, you need to play West Indies regional cricket. That it's in their writing. It's in there. It's a part of their thing. So the only way to go around that is if they change it, or if they change it, or they become more flexible and say, listen, if you are doing well at franchise cricket or ODI cricket, we will try you in test cricket. But based on their system right now, they say, listen, you can't just take up a man playing T20 cricket and put him to go and play 5-day because we don't know if he has the mental side to stay out there like that. The 4-day competition is what will give you the closest idea. It doesn't matter what you think a man can bat and how a man look pretty. And as I said, comparing it to Jamaica football wouldn't really do it much justice because there is no such thing in the JFF, the Jamaica Football Federation, thing to say that you need to play in the local Premier League to make the team. What people always say where the local Premier League is concerned is that you want to build it, so you want people from the local, you want local people to make the team, but there is no such stipulation in the JFF guidelines. That is the main stipulation for West Indies, especially Test cricket. You can't select a man because you know a man, because you think a man can bat and play T20 cricket and think he's going to be able to last 5 days. Corey Anderson scored 131 off 47 balls versus West Indies in 2014. He's USA now. Yeah, that's why I was saying that, I don't know how they didn't select him. Reefer is away, so he just can't bat. Cornwall is unfit. We have poor leadership, weak system, or perhaps foolish insultry due to these the hard work and hard decision or not forthcoming without revolutionary changes. Expect nothing different. Definitely. USA can play Corey Anderson, Ian Holland, who plays for Hampshire, Manpreet, Hamed Azam, Jai Surya, Rusty Theron, and Liam Plunkett. Yeah, because leading up to the thing, I was wondering why some of them didn't. I saw some reports saying some of these guys, they qualified. Even what's his name? The pace bowler from Pakistan that was banned because of he was involved with the Simon Butt and those guys, and he plays CPL he plays CPL. I think even him. I think he just got his USA passport, if I'm not mistaken, and I saw him saying that he's probably ready to play IPL. Mohamed Amir. We know the Pakistan players don't usually play the IPL, but he's here now. You understand? But Yeah, I think we are basically there where the time is concerned. So I'm going to leave the comments for a little while, and I think Sir Ian just came on, so I'm going to give him an opportunity to come on and speak, and then I will rush out of here to take care of some prior stuff. Yes, Sir Ian, I see you guys planning to not turn up to the game. What is the problem? What's going on over there?
No, well, the thing is, we don't normally go anyhow. But what I say, the point is this: that
Mm.
look, my thing is, don't mama guy a big man. If you
Yeah.
tell Bravo you're serious, then don't make the man play the regional thing, score the second highest runs around the second highest runs, and then don't pick him. Don't mama guy
Mm-hmm.
big people. Because I'll tell you why too. Bravo have some age already. If not now, when? If it is Bravo get picked now and can last 2 years, he will also help out the younger fellas and groom them because whether we like it or not,
Mm-hmm.
I watch the other day this batsman from India. He now make 10 watch. He now make 9 test runs. The Indian captain.
Rohit?
Yeah.
Go again. What do you say about Rohit?
From what I see, they say it's 9 test centuries he have.
10. Yeah, he just got 10.
And Bravo had 8. And Roy
I
batting.
think Bravo has 8.
Well, right, they were saying, look at the kind of people company Bravo in. I am saying, regardless of what people say, right? If Desmond Haynes and them fellas tell Bravo that they didn't forget you, go ahead. And when he go to outperform, no matter coming down to the end, he must get frustrated and he didn't perform that good. But the point is, he did what he was supposed to do as far as the amount of runs to get a pick because he getting younger. And if you don't pick him now, well, then you're telling him, man, you ain't picking him. And that is the kind of arrogance I don't like.
Yeah.
When people have a certain level of authority, they do me that with football. You know, I used to goalkeep.
Yeah.
And I tell the coach, listen, coach, just try me outside because I used to play for my in Fatima. I used to play for my class and score. But he wanted me to goalkeep. He said, yeah, right. And never once called me to play out. And the day I walk with sliders, he said, I would have called you now, but you walk with the wrong gear. There's a lot of wickedness I find in the sporting fraternity.
Yeah.
Tell Bravo up front, you're not considering a man. Be a big man. Desmond Haynes say, brother, I don't care if you score 50 million runs, you're not going to get picked. But don't make the man feel you're serious. And when it's time and you perform all everybody, you come and you ain't pick the man. Right? Tell Gabriel the same thing. You have Gabriel, Gabriel, the fastest bowler in the West Indies. He fast. I don't talk about Joseph. He faster than Joseph. Joseph.
When Gabriel is fit, man, Gabriel is the fastest bowler we have once he's fit.
But hello, they didn't pick. What the hell are you picking him on 13 if you're not going to play him? Right? Well, because he's a trainee. Is everybody a trainee stupidity then? Everybody who's at Trinidad, they're going to treat like a fool. Tell Gabriel, don't bother to even try him. Because Gabriel take a set of wickets in the regional too. Why does he can't start? Right? Yeah, Cornwall, he could hardly make it. He catch it, he not well. Right? Yeah, Roach catching his tail to bowl 5 overs. But you mean Gabriel can't make the side? And then people here, right here, want to drop Josh. When Josh scored a century already and saved West Indies tail against England when nobody else was standing up, Josh alone stand up and make a century. Right? In Trinidad, they call that Namakaram, ungrateful. Right?
But in all honesty, though, no, Sir Ian, that century, that Joshua score, we definitely appreciated it. But a player cannot stay in the team based on the fact that he would have saved us. You need to consistently perform to stay in the team.
Yeah, but he's a wicket keeper and he batting average better than Hope on in the test. The average higher than Hope.
Yes, I think the reason why Joshua De Silva gets so much criticism is because of the potential that people see in him. But as I say, he's a wicket keeper.
He's a wicket keeper. And he is a batsman that is getting better and better.
Yeah.
But, okay, I think even you say something about spin and all that. But England had no good spinners that Joshua was able to make a century on them. They had no good pacers in England. The same England we watching.
Yeah.
You didn't hear them? Joshua didn't make a century against England. How come all of a sudden they wasn't good when Joshua was batting, but they're good now? Explain that one to me. Because you say he can't bat. You say he can't bat spin good or you get spin.
No, he's not the best spin. That is the two weakness that I have with Joshua De Silva. If you have a world-class spinner bowling to Joshua De Silva, he's susceptible to the spin. He's playing his back foot too much. Where pace is concerned, the way to get Joshua De Silva out is him playing around the pad. Once the ball is quick, he's susceptible to get out like that.
Right, but and he's susceptible and he still make a century.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every player has a weakness, This is not me saying that he's not an international cricketer. Every player has a weakness. So me saying that, I'm just saying that, Hold on.
What the fella was saying.
Let me get the charger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I thought I had the charger inside here. Yeah, so what I'm saying, where Joshua De Silva is concerned, as a wicket, is the same pressure as a Trini. You would know this. It's the same pressure Dinesh Ramdin came under. Dinesh Ramdin, in my opinion, is still the best glove man in the region. But one of the reasons why Dinesh Ramdin was always in and out of West Indies team was because of the batting and certain decisions that he made, while he was batting. So that is how we are saying.
The thing is this, if you watch the averages of Ridley Jacobs, all them fellas, Joshua one higher than their one. That is one. Plus Joshua is a young fella, somebody we could work with. You want to demoralize him and kick him out already, just because there are certain flaws in the batting yet. He's the only one within recent times that make a test century in West Indies. Name one other young person on that West Indies team that make a test century. Nobody can name it, but it's the problem is that Trinidadian. So
I don't know, Sir Ian, because
only one Trinidadian now, and just now only want Joshua to go, not you, but the people.
No, man. I mean, we don't want him to go in, but I am calling out the flaws that need to improve. So I don't know if people wanted him to improve.
All the other people who on the team, all the other people on the team who fail, and the whole team fail.
Of course, Sir Ian. You're mental as a Blackwood get out the same way every time. Jason Ola, all of them.
So what I'm saying is, whether Joshua on the team or not, is not a point of reference for this discussion, because plenty of them have flaws too, and he's still, in my humble opinion, as a keeper, have proven himself more than all of them. Because when all of them big batsmen were collapsing, he's the only one standing on all the floors and make a century and save. And you can talk about it was the last time we play England. It wasn't so far away. The same English team that always say, "Oh, we love Test cricket and they play this beautiful Test cricket." We cut the tail.
You see, we like Joshua De Silva because, as you said, Joshua at the time was really doing some work with the lower tail there. But isn't it true though that the weakness has been exposed too often? Isn't it true that he needs to improve? As I said, he's young enough, so there's nothing wrong with wanting the player to improve.
The answer, everybody.
We don't want them to throw him away and forget about him forever.
Everybody needs to do any remedial work. But but if Joshua has a flaw, right? You work with him. Just like all them, I mean, right now, everybody called for Chanderpaul. Are they happy with Chanderpaul? Now, how are they finding playing? Everybody called for Chanderpaul, including me. Chanderpaul has some flaws,
Yeah.
But he ain't really doing nothing much. Trust me.
And most of our players, and that is why they are basically taking 2 steps forward and 4 backwards because of the flaws. But I hear you.
Wait. Somebody say, what? Joshua can average what? Can average 10 and I was and say no. But wait, no, let me ask you something. That fella, you remember, didn't Joshua was he vice captain? Was he captain of a side in Bangladesh? Whenever we have a West Indies A team, Joshua De Silva is always there. So as a senior player, somebody that they are looking to groom for that future role, he's going to captain. So he captains the A teams. And the pressure in West Indies board, all these people here, they want to bust the man shoot. Listen, didn't Joshua win the series as a captain? Yeah, did he also not have a high batting average and also score that century?
I think he scored a century in that.
Oh my God, he did! Because he's doing nothing. Because once it's a training, you're always under pressure. The man did excellent.
But the Guyanese said the same thing. Once you're a Guyanese, you're under pressure. The same.
But I am telling you the truth. The callers here have to be wicked and heartless. Joshua just captained a team to have victory in Bangladesh. He just scored century and score high. His average was probably about, I think, man, average was about 70 or 80. It was very high. But he came not out in almost every innings.
All I will say to you, Sir Ian, all I will say to you is that Joshua De Silva is a young keeper. He's in the team now, but he definitely needs to continue working, because I have seen the best glovesman in the region get kicked out of West Indies team because of his batting. And he started off with, he showed potential with the bat. But because of inconsistency, and he's right in your backyard there, Dinesh Ramdin. And it's not because he's my favorite cricketer why I'm saying that.
Do you think Bangladesh
the inconsistency with his batting is why Ramdin is probably still not playing for West Indies?
Could he just,
because nobody in the region still can keep like him?
Yeah, but could he not just be going through a period? I mean, Bradford is a waste of time.
That's what I'm saying. We don't want the period to last too long. When the period lasts long, then when the period goes for long, and then what I'm saying, if the period goes for long, then you come and score, and then the period goes for long again. That's what you call inconsistency. It's the same thing they had with Hamden.
So you're not counting Bangladesh as a period. Part of your period is not Bangladesh.
But the 8, what are you talking about?
The period, show me how long the period is Joshua going long to, because we had Bangladesh the other day, and Bangladesh, the man average was close to about 7 to 8, and the man come not out about 3 times or something like that. He captained Bangladesh, he captained West Indies of victory. I mean, I am saying everybody always looking, the one Trinidad team that we target him, he's the one to leave. Yeah, bring in Dorwich, bring in this.
Well, I don't know. Still, most of the people are calling for Shannon Gabriel to be in the team, and he's from Trinidad.
No, they're happy Shannon not in the team. I telling you, I know why they're happy Shannon not in the team, and they're probably telling you he old and he's a waste of time, even though he take almost his second highest or the third highest wickets in the regional. You watch it. I
hear you, sir. I hear you.
As far as I'm concerned, no Trinidadian should be in this team. Let all of them fail by themselves, because as far as they're concerned, Joshua ain't good enough, Gabriel ain't good enough, Bravo ain't good enough. All right, I'll leave it like that.
All right, sir. Yeah, I hear you. I think Marlon was on first and then Sheldon. Marlon, what say you?
Good night or good evening.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Lennox, and this is, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Sir Ian. I think Sir Ian is showing one of the fundamental problems with West Indies cricket, and it's the insularity and the nationalism.
Yeah.
Let's look at these things on a case-by-case basis. The reason why Shannon was dropped from the side was because it was a turning wicket. It has, I think it has nothing to do with him being training. It was just that it was a turning wicket, and they wanted to play 2 spinners. Full stop. Then then you have the issue with Joshua De Silva. I don't think Joshua should be dropped. However, his form has been poor. There's no going around that.
He didn't just make a century
people calling for him to be dropped.
Did he make a century?
While I don't agree with him, they have merit.
Listen, could I react because you're saying things that are not true? Did he not
make runs
in Bangladesh? Did he yes or no make runs in Bangladesh?
Sir Ian, those runs cannot count.
When he makes runs cannot count. Well, don't count it then. Oh, it means nothing. All that work and hard work means nothing.
Sir Ian, they cannot count in the same way because
and you talk about
he didn't do anything in South Africa.
Why pick Shannon Gabriel?
And he didn't do anything in us.
When you have a Cornwall who unfit, why set a spin wicket and you're picking Shannon Gabriel? Even Roach struggling. You pick Holder, right? You go to that test match and you want to win, and you're playing with Holder, who's an all-rounder, and the only person you could find is the job Shannon. Or Shannon, who did so well in the regional, who's our fastest bowler. You couldn't drop somebody else. Strange.
No, but Sir Ian, this is why I think you're looking at it purely from a Trinidadian perspective.
I must
have a problem. I think Jake Nola. No, let me get that chance. I think Jason Nola should be dropped at this point Full stop. I think Jason's form has been poor with the bat and the ball. The last time Jason did anything with the ball was in England during the pandemic series, in my opinion. But you're not going to drop an all-rounder who could possibly contribute with the bat and the ball for an out-and-out fast bowler who can hold the bat. In that sense, I personally, I'm not complaining that I'm a big Shannon Gabriel fan. Anybody on this platform could tell you that.
Yeah, we know that.
I want him to be in the team, but I didn't feel hard done by because they didn't choose him. I just didn't, because the wicket just didn't necessitate. It's just the wicket, in my opinion. It has nothing to do with him being Trinidadian. It's just the nature of the wicket. And Lennox, going back to the interview with O'Shea Damas. Remember, he said he was set to make his debut. And when they look at the wicket, they chose Chemo.
Yeah, they brought in Chemo at the time.
If were a different wicket, Shannon would have played. It's just that simple. I think you're looking at it, sorry, and purely from a Trinidadian perspective, which is bias. There are certain players in the team that I think Jason Wola should hold a jumper at this point, because, like I said, he's been poor. They dropped Reefa. I agree with the dropping of Reefa. I don't think Warrican should be in the squad.
Yeah.
And if we're going to talk about anything, we need to talk about the Barbadian bias in the selection. I used to try to avoid that, but I mean, it's obvious now.
It's you can see it, man. I don't like to say it, but
place in that squad.
I
don't know what basis they chose. He had no place in here.
Welcome. At least I don't have
some of those Barbadians were not being selected on merit. Some of those Bayesians who are not being selected on merit need to hold a drop. They need to stop giving these Bayesian players this extensive run in the team at the expense of others. When it comes to Bravo, I don't think Bravo should be given a third chance over Mackenzie and someone like probably Athens. I just cannot see that. So I'm not too agree with that at them not selecting Bravo. That's just how I feel on those issues.
Yeah, and I agree with you. What I'm saying is this: don't mama guy him. Let Desmond Haynes and them tell him the truth. Bravo, we ain't really considering you. Let the man go and play 2020 somewhere. Sorry. If Bravo wouldn't waste time in the regional cricket, if you know, or they want to waste the time, if you know that's what they're going to do. Right? So don't pick him. I have no problem if you don't pick him.
If we're looking at the best interest of West Indies cricket,
tell Gabriel they're not going to pick him. I find they should tell Gabriel they're not going to pick him too.
Hold on, let's go one at a time.
All I'm saying before you go on is you see Gabriel and that one, tell them you're not going and pick them. So don't even waste your time playing regional cricket. Them fellas have better things to do with their life. They could go play franchise cricket all over the world, especially in USA, which is looking for international cricketers. Don't waste the time. That's all I say.
All right, sir, Ian. All right, Marlon. I think Shetland is up next. Let me give my thing is with the Shannon Gable situation. Even though I doubt they purposefully prepared the pitch. I said it a few times. I think it was because of the rain in Dominica and they thought, they weren't going to get the pace and the bounce. But my argument has always been this. Those two spinners are not good enough to have the two of them in the same team. So I personally would have took the chance, and play Gabriel on that pitch. Once he's fit, we don't want him go out there and because the pitch is not helping, he bowls 12, 13 overs and then the body cannot manage. But I don't think the two spinners were actually good enough to play in the same game. You don't really have two spinners playing in the same game like that. So that was
ask me. Kevin Sinclair should have been in the squad from the get-go outside of Jamal Warrican.
But my thing is, Marlon, the only reason Kevin Sinclair, in my opinion, wouldn't have been in that squad is because they wanted him to be in Bangladesh. But apart from that, Kevin Sinclair should have been in the squad. I can't understand them sort of things.
Exactly. Like Jack Warrican has no business being in the squad. None.
My thing is, how was he selected? How was he selected? Did he play much of the first class tournament the other day? I can't remember. He didn't probably 2 games. I don't know.
He did not much of an impact, if you ask me.
No,
I don't remember him doing much.
The spinners that actually did is the usual Cornwall, Cornwall versus Sammy Pramal, the youngster from Trinidad, Brian Charles, Mansing from Jamaica didn't look too bad. I can't recall it. Anyway, Sheldon, I think Sheldon is there.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Somebody say it took like something like 8
Right.
wickets. Yes, Sheldon. Please.
Here was the vexing thing about the Bravo situation, right? When Bravo was totally out of form,
Yeah.
Bravo was either on the West Indies bench or he was playing for the side, right? Now that Bravo finally struck form, he can't find a place on the side.
But isn't it true? Isn't it true that you are the same one that has been saying from the other day that you understand why Bravo is not there? Because after scoring those 2 centuries, Bravo went and did some, and threw the opportunity away.
I said he should not have made the original test team based on disciplinary reasons, right? And the disciplinary reasons was he was throwing away his wicket. Not that he couldn't bat him, because he was
going into the second test here. He should have been selected for the squad.
So having served his 1 game suspension for doing foolishness.
Because he should have been there, but it was a suspension.
It was a 1 game suspension for doing foolishness. Right? For doing foolishness.
Was it foolishness or was he outfoxed by the bowlers?
No, he played some careless shots.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I hear you, Sheldon. Go on.
Right, he played some careless shots and I dropped him for that. Right?
Yeah.
But here's what. The fact that we were going to pick a different side.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the same irresponsibility that Bravo get dropped for, in my opinion. Right? Our vice captain went and showed the same or even worse irresponsibility.
As usual.
Right?
Yeah.
So I am saying there is no difference between the two, except that Bravo has made a ton load of runs, and most of the 4-day championship was played in Trinidad.
Yeah.
So he has most of those runs at home. Right?
Yeah.
So based on that, you bring him in, and I am saying this is his swan song. You say, Bravo, here's what. We call you back, we giving you a chance. You don't make it, pack your bags, and ride out into the sunset. And that is what it is. You don't play a man out of form, and then when he finally in form, because you tell him if he in form, you're going to play him, and when he finally in form, you play somebody else. And what I say, you drop a batsman to bring in an all-rounder somewhere down to bat at number whatever. Sinclair is going to bat where if he play? Somewhere 9 or 10?
Sinclair?
Yeah.
We're not pushing the title of all-rounder and Sinclair as yet. This year...
Yeah, but where is he going to bat?
They're going to have to leave out one of the spinners.
Yeah, but no. I'm asking you, where in the lineup is he going to bat?
Who's Sinclair?
Yes.
If he comes in for... If he comes in for Rakim Cornwall, what number is Rakim Cornwall batting? 8, 9?
Right.
Then he has to bat here. Yeah.
So that we are now going to see that here's what. We are depending on an inexperienced stage, right? Brathwaite, who having some problems against the moving ball, right? We're going to play 2 debutants, all right? Kurt, Alec played his first game, so Kurt going and make his debut, and we are going to ask Blackwood to guide these men. That makes sense to you?
It makes sense in the sense that he's a vice captain, but the argument that you put forward earlier today saying that Bravo having scored some runs, you know, and has the experience, could have been asked to do that job. But the fact that Blackwood is there as a senior player and as a vice captain, you expect him to do the job. Whether or not he's going to do it is a totally different case.
No, that is part of West Indies' problem. We give men positions, and after that, we cannot manage our teams because the men have positions. Right?
Tell the people what you want to say when you say that, Shelan, because I am reading it like a book, you know. That's it. Tell the people the two players that you want to talk about when you say that.
In terms of what? We no, you see,
giving players position and then you cannot manage the team. Tell the people the two past West Indies players that you're talking about when you say that. Because I agree with what you I agree, you know. I don't know if that's what you're going to say, but I agree.
All right, but the foolishness starts, in my opinion.
What are the two past players that you're referring to?
In my opinion, the foolishness starts with Darren Sammy. Right?
But no, right?
And the only reason why Darren Sammy got the captaincy at the West Indies is because his countryman was the president of the board, right? And the consequence of that is Darren DJ Bravo, who was now coming into form,
being dropped
with a couple test centuries behind his name, and now understanding how to bowl in test cricket, was dropped.
Yeah.
Right? Never to return.
Hold on, Shelan. For those who are not following the conversation, he's not talking about coaching position, man. He's not talking about coaching's position. He was talking about when we all know Bravo was out of the team because Sammy had to play. And I personally, when I just started this platform in 2019, 2020, that's an issue that I addressed all the way back. And I didn't like it, and I will stick to that same thing as much as I like Sammy. I personally think that he was left out of the team to facilitate the captain, who was the lesser all-rounder. But go on, Shelan.
Right. And of course, that carried over into other things, right?
Yeah.
And it unbalanced the team to a certain extent. We were fortunate in the T20 arena that we had so much quality that we could have dropped men to the bench and play other men without any difference in performance. So like Lendell Simmons could have been on the bench one day, and Charles playing with Gain as an opener, and they're rotating, right? Because we had quality. But when you don't have the quality, it becomes a problem. You cannot tote passengers.
Yeah.
So everybody, and you see, for me, leadership is about showing you don't have to be the best player to be the leader, but you have to have the most grit. Because what I said, when I watch Cummins play, right? When I watch Cummins play, Cummins had grit. Cummins will bat if needed. He will come and he will bowl unchanged for a long time. He will do all these things because he realized, hey, I am the test captain and it is my responsibility to win the test for my team. You ever get that impression from Blackwood?
Probably once. Was it England that he made that brilliant century against? Who was it?
95. It was 95.
He didn't get across the century. It was 95.
No,
Probably
95.
that was the only time.
Yeah. You see, because for me, right?
Yeah.
It have to make sense. I don't mind you doing anything, but it has to make sense.
Yeah.
Right? Because here's what. It's either it making sense in the short term, the medium term, or the long term. Right? So if I identify a good player, right, I would say, hey, this is a long-term prospect. So I am going to give him 3 test series. It doesn't matter if he fails in those test series, because I have identified him as a long-term prospect. And that makes sense. Right? Now, by the time you're bringing along them long-term prospects, you need people who have to keep you competitive in the short term.
Yeah.
Right? And then too, you need senior players to pass on the information to junior players. What do you do when you're reaching
players that still can make the team?
Yeah, excuse Sheldon. And I think none of us what we really get yet is the reason for that wicket. I know, okay, we know India better, but was there any explanation? Because this guy, the captain, said he going with spin even before the match and all that. What was the reason for that wicket and why? I don't understand. We're not professional.
Who said they was going with spin?
Bradford, long before the match even started, the day before, asked Sport to the bone. Remember? And he said that how they're preparing for spin or something like that, and we couldn't believe it, and it really turned out to be true.
Yeah, but you can't be preparing for spin if Ashwin coming and that Jadeja coming at you.
Yeah,
as I said, I think the only explanation to that, I personally think they had Gabriel in their mind to play, and because of the holy rain in Dominica, they figured that no matter how they roll the pitch, it so happened that he wouldn't have supported the seam. So I don't know if they went out there to try and prepare a spinning wicket, but because we don't have anybody to outbowl Ashwin and Jadeja, we're
kind of naive. I thought boys just embrace.
Right, but okay. So if you're thinking that is a spinner's wicket and it will only take pace for a certain length of time, don't you then want your two fastest bowlers for the time that the ball knew and the wicket taking pace?
That's why
So then why did we not play Joseph and Gabriel?
And spinners work in pairs, eh? Pace one end, pacing. That is what is frustrating a batsman, You see if a batsman facing hot pace at one end and a mediocre the other, he just got a little ease on the second. But you see pace on the left and pace on the right, that can mash up the best batsman, eh? Because there's one type breeder,
Yeah, because Gabriel will make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, we have session in the wings, so
right?
Yeah, wrap it up.
Gabriel will make them uncomfortable, and thing will take the wickets.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
My brother. That's my brother from Guyana, Sachin.
Yeah, man. We haven't seen Sachin in a little while, and when he came last week, man, he sound like a big man.
Yeah, like his voice change.
Yeah, man, he turned big man.
That's not artificial intelligence imitating Sachin?
No, sir, Ian. Remember the man at university, so them girls probably grow him up a little bit.
That again. All right. Let us hear Sachin. Yes, Sachin, what say you?
Good night. I don't really have anything much to say, but like with what Sir Ian was saying, I took a piece of what Sir Ian was saying earlier and what Marlon was saying earlier. I'm mad I'm confused as to Desmond Haynes' selection process. Why, as Sir Ian said, why did he pick Gabriel if he knew he wasn't going to play in Dominica? And why not pick him like now? Like how Reefer was dropped, Sinclair came in the squad. Why not did that? And like Reefer, Gabriel could have stayed in Trinidad. Gabriel could have get his like training in and thing over in Trinidad. And also the Bayesian bias. That needs to. I don't know what frustrates me more, if the past selection process or this selection committee. Has there been a squad that has less than 5 Bayesian players in it? Whether they were their spot or not?
I doubt it. But my thing is this, I have always said, We are representing the Caribbean, so some people want one player from every part in the Caribbean. My thing is, once they can make the team, it doesn't matter if all 11 of them come from Trinidad or Barbados. But my thing is, there are a few of them in this squad and the squad prior to this that shouldn't have been there. So I can understand when people are calling it out. Because the Warwick selection, how did we come up with Warwick?
If you don't see the Bayesian minds in West Indies cricket, you're refusing to see it.
I see it, man. It's there. But that's why I'm wondering how do we come up with these sort of decisions? That's my thing.
And you know what the problem is? Let me say this before Sachin gets back. I don't think the selectors care that people notice it.
But it's too obvious, man. No.
The work and selection is shameful. So Sachin could continue.
Yeah.
I was just gonna like poke a little bit. Ian said earlier, right? Where did Racking Cornell come from and the selection process? Can Desmond Haynes now come out and say this person or this person didn't make the squad in the future and say that they didn't make the squad because of fitness?
No, Sheldon. No, Tashin, you're not listening to me. You didn't hear what sir what Desmond Haynes said a couple weeks ago. He said that listen, he's trying to stay away from this fitness thing. He has doctor before his name, but he's not a practicing doctor. So he's staying away from this whole fitness argument. Remember, this is the same one that said the main criteria, well, not the main criteria, but one of the biggest thing that they're looking for is players that are fit to go. So I don't know how he comes out and set that as a rule and then, come on talking about he's not a doctor, so he's not going to talk about fitness.
This same man will come back for that T20 and ODI series and say Lewis didn't get picked, Hetmai didn't get picked because they were unfit. I
don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
But Reefa, one more question I got. I'm still confused. Why take out Reefa and bring in a spinner for Reefa? Why not bring in Darren Bravo? He performed, as everyone was talking about Darren Bravo. He performed in the regionals, regional Super 50. Performed in the 4-day thing. Why not bring him in place? Why bring a spinner for a number?
Can I answer that question?
I guess it's because it's only one test match remaining, and they know they're going to play Kirk McKenzie, and they're going to drop one of the spinners, and they want Kevin Sinclair to play. So I can't see it being anything else.
Why not drop the spinner that you're not going to play, along with Reefa, and bring in Bravo for batter 3, and the spinner will replace whichever spinner not playing?
Because Kirk McKenzie has to play.
Ooh.
Based on how they are looking at it. I mean, that is why I see that. I understand what you're saying. Bring in, what is it? Drop one of the spinner and bring in, but they only can bring in one person. So because they probably know they want to give Kirk McKenzie's debut, they say, all right, I would definitely need the spinner. They say, all right, listen, let's bring in this man and play Kirk McKenzie, and then Kevin Sinclair will play. That's the only reason I can think of why they would have done it like that. I don't know.
I think Marlon was saying.
Yeah, Marlon.
What Marlon was saying.
I agree with you completely, Lennox. That is exactly what I was going to say.
So
how it looks right now, the only scenario under which Bravo could come in the team and play is if you drop Jermaine Blackwood.
Yeah. Actually,
Blackwood is due for a drop. Let me say that clear.
Exactly.
Because the vice captaincy, he gets a longer run, but I think he's due for a drop. It is ridiculous the things you are getting from him at this point.
And he gets the same way over and over, so it's even worse.
Well, let me say this. Another scenario that could happen. If you drop Holder and play Kevin Sinclair as the all-rounder, then you could also throw Bravo in there and McKenzie.
The problem is that would only leave them. That would only leave them with the two main seamers.
No, you can, like, I don't know what Marlon was trying to say, but if you play Kirk in place of Reefa at 3, right? And then you drop Holder and you play Sinclair in place of Holder, and then you drop one of the spinner. You bring in what's his name?
Bravo.
Shannon Gabriel.
Oh, Gabriel. Oh, okay.
Like, why didn't we? Wouldn't that be a good, better route to go down than bringing in an extra spinner for?
Probably. But we know Holder won't be dropped, so that is not even
Yeah, Holder's
a
not gonna be
process.
dropped.
And Blackwood won't be dropped by, and they're not gonna drop Blackwood.
Exactly.
So what?
I don't think
What
this
is
is
the
arguing things we know will not happen.
What is it 13? What is it 13 for the second test? What is it?
I think it's the same export reefer.
So it's the 13 will probably read like Craig Brathwaite, John
Yeah.
Brathwaite, Alec Antonis, Chandrapal, Carnwall, De Silva, Gabriel, Holder, Joseph, Mackenzie, Sinclair, Roach, Warken.
And is Cornwall there?
Yeah, I said Carnwall.
Cornwall, yeah. And they have Iblock and Jordan in reserve.
So why
Yeah.
Cornwall there? I mean, he's not well.
So that
But on a serious note though,
Mhm.
on a serious note though, guys, with this heat, I don't know how Raheem Cornwall plays
Boy.
You see,
in this heat at the moment.
probably that's one of the thing in Marlon. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they are bringing in Kevin Sinclair. Because even though Warwican wasn't taking a bunch of wickets, he was holding down one end. But I think we had a huge problem when Cornwall was off the field for almost an entire day. That was we lost big there. So probably they are looking into that and saying, listen, let us bring in this man, because we can't afford that. But the thing is this, a man perform in the competition that they say he needs to perform, he gets his opportunity, and the team was placed in jeopardy because of whatever reason. I'm not a doctor and I don't know what happened, but you can't jeopardize the team because of whatever. So
if Cornwall gets dropped, do we still play Warken?
they're going to play one.
And play one
But they shouldn't play two spinners. In my opinion, if they bring in Kevin Sinclair in the squad, he needs to go straight in the playing 11 and take out Warwican and play Gabriel. If Cornwall is not playing, I tell you already that they don't need to play two spinners. They're not good enough. We need the pacers the seamers to try and see if they can get a rush, get a workout. So, but the spinners them not good enough. You can't have two spinners bowling to Indian batsmen. They're not good enough to do that.
I just hope we don't prepare a spinning pitch in Trinidad because
I
swear it's gonna take 20 wickets against
we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that.
And worse, if they prepare a spinning wicket and Bravo is not there, the Trinidad would go crazy.
But we preparing a wicket that will not take spin, but it go rat. So we will get plenty LBW. When we drop the ball short, it take go cross your knee.
All right, I think
Ambrose take about 8 wickets on that with our ball ratting. Ambrose, I mean, when you face that man 90 miles per hour and the ball bounce short and stay low, that's LBW,
Yep.
So that is the wicket.
I think we have Jacan who was there. We're all out of time, so let's hear Jacan. I think Jacan was trying to get on. Yes, Jacan, what say you?
Boy, Lennox, no sir. Me disappointed. I cannot get a 3 days out of West Indies cricket. Not even 3 days. I think these guys are too pitiful and Jason Hall and again, you guys need to cut out the whatever these guys did make 100 runs there. They did make 200 runs there. Nonsense, rubbish. For example, look at the great Pujara. Pujara did so much things for India. And where is he now? Look at the debutant for India. He make 170 odd runs. Look at our debutant. 47. And we are saying, oh, yes, good. Yes, Artanes. No, not to take anything away from the young man, but look what we jump for. We are so accustomed, we celebrate for mediocrity. We don't celebrate for 100 anymore. We celebrate for under 50. Someone come in the team and make under 50 runs and we celebrate. Oh, yes, he's technically... No. Look at the debut for India. Almost 200 runs.
The difference with those guys, they are better prepared. So those guys, before they get into India team, a lot of them have 10, 15, 16. I don't remember which Jiswal, but I'm almost certain he has 10.
He has
10
9.
But then
10 first class centuries. So those guys are well prepared. Not saying that we should celebrate what we have, but you know, the difference is when those guys get on the international scene, it's almost like they're playing first class, because some of the cricketers that they're playing against at the first class level, they're better than some of the international players that just cannot get into the India team. But yeah, you could continue.
We have to also look at, we're not using all of our resources. You have this. I don't think West Indies batsmen, they have no intent. It's like they are just catching the ball until they get out. Like I cannot see them scoring like when West Indies is batting, and I don't want to watch.
Yeah,
Like I'd rather watch India batting because their batsmen have intent.
yeah.
They move around in the crease. They try to get one. They try to score a boundary. They try to,
Sure.
and they're technical about it. They know what type of ball to pick. West Indies batsmen are just waiting on that good ball to get them out. When you
Yes,
watch
yeah.
a ball and a Brathwaite, but it's like, oh my God, you're just waiting on a good ball to get them out. No intent. They're just there catching away. And it cannot, like, the only one person who comes to the crease with intent is Alec Atanez.
Yeah.
There is no intent. I mean, there is no footwork. A batsman who is batting at number 3. Oh my God. Just the bat like a T20 match. And you know where I think West Indies cricket mashup, you know, you see that Chris Gayle era,
Yeah.
where he announced himself as this big T20 champion. At every youngster in the region shift gear from what batting should normally be. They just think it should be like 6-18, but they don't realize that Chris Gayle is also a technical batsman. They're just looking at, say,
Chris
boy.
Gayle played a lot of test cricket, you know, and ODI cricket, so the man can actually bat.
So they don't see that. All they see is, boy, Chris Gayle is blasting a lot of six out the stadium. They don't realize Chris Gayle is a technical batsman who have a couple double centuries and triple centuries in Test cricket. Yeah,
Yeah.
not. But it is. I don't know. We need new selectors. We need. I mean, I know why we don't want to approach like a Brandon McCallum or an overseas coach, because I think we cannot pay them. So I think that is mainly the problem why we are trying to stick to. But I don't have nothing against Kohli, but getting rid of the other coach Simmons and Iron Kohli is like the same thing. Like Kohli was there.
I mean, he has been in the system, Kadini. He has been in the system because this man has worked at almost every level where coaching and managing is concerned with West Indies cricket. He has been assistant coach. He has been in and around the
That's what I am saying, and I followed the interview and I see that he has been here for a while now.
That man has been here for years.
It's basically the same thing. It's like you fire a Simmons with. It's like you fire Simmons and rehire Simmons.
That man has been around for years, Terrell, because a couple of years ago, when I went over to Lucas Cricket Club, that's Gale's club, to go and get talk to some people over there, I saw him there, and he just came home and was working with them, and then he got back into the Jamaica program, and in no time he was back there because he has the experience working there. But so we know what we're going to get. We already know what we're going to get. You understand? So I don't know if if he brings the X factor. I don't know.
I don't think so. It's the same old.
You see, what do you call it now? The camps that they organize for him to work with players. He works well with the youngsters, but I don't know if up at the I'm just gonna have to give him time. I'm gonna have to give him time. But I don't know. You see, because he has been in the system, I don't know if I can trust him. But I know that in terms of helping some of the youngsters to come through, but some will say some of them still pass through his hand with certain flaws. But let us see.
I mean,
Leonard, you see my opinion, and I could be wrong about this, so people could correct me if I'm wrong. Unlike most sports, I don't think cricket is a sport that coaches can transform a team's fortune.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion, because of the nature of the game. Like, it's not a game that you could tactically do things that.
Yeah, you see, you see how you would watch, say for example, a football game, and you can see a team that is better. You know, see a team that you know is definitely not better than another team, and the manager come up with a tactics that contribute to
Yes.
outsmarting the team.
Yes.
I get the line of reasoning. Yeah.
The coach.
No, let me finish the point now. I think the
Mhm.
captain has more influence over the team than the coach
Yeah.
because of the nature of how cricket
Well, I'm
is.
glad that come up because I was
And
wondering
running the game
question.
on the field.
Sports. Ask me, tell me this, right? If I observe wrong, but after West Indies make almost no runs,
Yeah.
you didn't find we was too laid back. We didn't put any pressure on them. I mean, let me face it.
Yeah.
With a little bit of runs, there's only one thing to do now, is attack this side, have men under the bat.
Boy,
Yeah.
I said it in the video after the game, analyzing the game, that I thought, the skip could have applied some more pressure. You understand? Because if you allow them to just lay back, they obviously going to score the runs. So I think they could have applied more pressure.
It was one
Brad
thing I could say.
is not
Dominica did well
a
as
good
far as the
captain.
public relations. I think a lot of Indian tourists will come to Dominica now that we were so welcoming and loving to them and inviting to them. Yeah.
All right.
Agreed.
Yeah, Jacob.
But I mean, I don't think Brathwaite. I mean, some people, as we know, Lennox, like we have 11 person, and like you're gonna have like 6 or 8 or maybe 9 person who definitely cannot captain the team. And
Yeah.
Brathwaite is just one of those people. Brathwaite is not a captain. Blackwood need to go right back to St. Elizabeth to practice some cricket. Blackwood should practice cricket for a year. All Blackwood do. I don't know if Blackwood is trying to impress the T20 side or the 50 over side, but all Blackwood is throw away his wicket. I don't know what is up. I don't know what happened to Blackwood. I mean, Joshua De Silva. I mean, I don't know. I don't respect Joshua De Silva as no type of batsman who should be in West Indies cricket. I mean, I don't know. There's just give somebody else a chance. Joshua De Silva, I don't know, but with no intent. As I say, them man they just block the ball until one good one come, get them out. Nothing else. And I am just being frank. The bowlers, I don't know. Alzari Jones is our best bowler, and it's about like 6 months now I've been watching Alzari Joseph, and he's just not putting the balls in the right area. So
Yeah.
then again, Kemar Roach, I don't know. He's getting I guess his age, because Kemar Roach is a pretty good bowler. I guess it's just age. Then it is so discouraging. I mean, like, oh my God. I mean, you have like Jesus Christ, Jason Hole.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in.
Lennox, I want to see Akeem Jordan get a shot.
Yeah.
I think he's the next man up. We're
Yeah.
picking out of a fast bowlers to get his debut.
I mean, give us something else. I saw O'Shane Thomas in Jamaica, and just the image alone that I saw O'Shane Thomas with. I mean,
How long ago was that? How long ago was that?
that would scare a batsman. I mean, I was in Jamaica like 6 months ago or 8 months ago. I saw O'Shane Thomas walking into a gas station, the gas station on Concern Spring Road. He and a couple guys, like, in Jamaica they walk entourage and stuff like that. He and a couple guys, and I was wondering if this is. He was huge. I mean,
He's a tall guy, man, and he's working on himself. I did an interview with him, it's out. You can see him, and he's looking more like a pace bowler these days.
no, I watched the interview and everything that he said. I remember we are from Centre, we know everything that is going on in cricket. Most of the people who makes under Jamaica under 19 is not
Exactly.
the States youths, the Taki youth, the Yarcastle youths. Remember the best players, even the players that make it from Jamaica now who is playing for the West Indies, they're from rural St. Catherine. It's only Chris Gale come from like a Kingston who made West Indies team. Everyone else is
Probably
from
the icon.
Marlon Samuels also.
Probably the icon.
Marlon Samuels. Oh, could I have Marlon Samuels? He has the Kingston attitude. Anyways, but Marlon Samuels is a great batsman. I mean, I think Marlon Samuels is even better than Chris Gale. I mean, technically, if you should ask me, but
Technically, we're not even going to go down there because Darren Ganga, then I would have to say, in terms of looking pretty, is probably one of the best I have seen. But I hear you.
I mean, we mean execution, we're not just talking like just looking.
Making the runs out there and thing.
Yeah, we just talk technically and executing as well. Darren Ganga, them just look good. Darren Ganga is a perfect commentator. I can give that to him.
Mm.
He's a wonderful commentator. But I mean, it's heart wrenching now from T20 to test to 50. It's
Mm-hmm.
something. It's it's heartbreaking. Trust me. Like there is no the batsman in the West Indies. Only few of them. Like you have 6 or 5 batsmen who is specialists in each team,
Yeah.
and none of them have intent. There is no intent. It's like they're just playing ball, and the coach and the captain have to combine. There is really a lot. Look at
Yeah.
a Ben Stokes and a Brendan McCullum. You can see it in the England team that those guys are thinking together. It's like Ben Stokes have Brendan McCullum brain, and Brendan McCullum have Ben Stokes brain. They are
And,
in
and, and that is a problem, Jake, and our captain and coach have the same brain, and he's probably not.
I mean, but then is it then I don't think
Let
Brathwaite.
me see. Let me say this. Brathwaite, as a captain, has improved his game. Recently we haven't gotten much from him, but in terms where captaincy is concerned, still, there's not a lot of people in the Caribbean that I rate as captains. People will say I can only name 2 people, and they probably weren't as successful as they should have been. But I can name only 2 people that I actually, 3 people right now that I actually rate as as captains, that they're not only because they're attacking, but they're always thinking. And those are Karen Pollard, Dwayne Bravo, and Rahman Paul is working on himself. Now, there's not a lot of people in the Caribbean from I'm watching cricket till now. There's not a lot of people that I see actively go out there and try to effect change when they're playing the game. Those are the only 3 people that I rate as captain in the Caribbean.
But Lennox, in fairness to what his name is, to Craig. In the game, I stopped watching the game in any meaningful way after day 1. So let me put that disclaimer out there. But from what I gather, they were successful at slowing down the Indian batsmen to score runs.
They didn't score too fast.
Yes. The issue is that, and if you have to pick your poison, you stop the runs and the wickets didn't come.
But
the problem is that the batsmen just didn't do anything.
But in Test cricket, Marlon, I prefer to give her 10, 15, 20 runs trying to get 1 wicket. This is Test cricket and not T20. So that is why sometimes when you do them sort of things, it's really harmful. But I hear you.
Brathwaite, that is not the approach to Test cricket, especially in the modern days Test cricket. You cannot score 150 runs, and then when you come, you're blocking boundaries. 150 runs is 150 shots, which is easy played by an Indian batsman. All you need to do is drop the ball and run. 150 singles is easy to run in a day for 2 Indian batsmen. And then the ad boundary is going to come because West Indies, I don't think the bowlers are threatening. As I said, the side has no intent. The whole captaincy, the whole plan, I don't see West Indies playing with no plan. There is no intent. It's like they just come to lose. I just come to say, okay, I'm going to see what India is doing, and I'm going to allow India to dictate the test match, and then we're going to follow.
All right, Jake, I hear you. Passionate. I hear you.
We need to get out some of them players, Lennox. Like, they need to go now. We're tired of experience and exploring. This is international cricket. No other the world is
the problem is, after this test match, we don't have any more until January. So, I'm hoping they can organize some stuff and look at some of the youngsters and get them ready for the next one that we'll have.
To play us, and that is the next thing now in ICC cricket that they need to fix. Because the bigger nation are dictating the cricket, and that is killing the game.
Exactly.
Because there is no way you're going to say, okay, we have test championship. Australia play 15 game. New Zealand play 15 game, India play 20, England play 20, and we play 10. How are we going to reach the
I mean,
final?
it's all over
Because
the place too, because these people are not going to invest too much in where they see the money not returning. And we we need to be playing cricket to improve, but somebody our cricket is not
one
serious.
more point for
Well,
Bangladesh. Even Bangladesh.
let's be fair now. I think we need to be fair. Do you really want to see a 5-test series between West Indies and India?
I don't want to see. I don't think I want to see it, and ICC probably know they won't make anything of them sort of things. So
No.
going to them
But
things.
not even the money part of it. We're talking about the cricket side of it. Do we really want
You
to see a
think
5-test series?
because I love the game, so why I would tune in, but it don't make any sense. It don't make any sense.
It doesn't.
What we need to do is start. The associate nations have played the amount of cricket, and they have basically caught up to us. So all of the amount of cricket that we need to be playing extra, those are the teams that we need to be playing against. Until we
outside of the money, Lennox. It's outside of the money. If West Indies was a good enough team, people would want to play 4 and 5 test series.
Yeah, exactly.
Outside of the money aspect of it, we're just not good enough.
We're at the level to play with the associate nations right now, based on what I see.
Why would Australia play a 5
don't
test
think we
series?
get much development playing against the associate nation,
No, the associate nations are catching up to us. That is why we are playing them in qualifiers and them thing. The last two World Cup, the last one we had to play through qualifiers, right? This one we play and we don't go through because they're catching up to us.
But when you look at a Joshua De Silva, when Joshua De Silva is at a Bangladesh A or is at a Zimbabwe, he's a good batsman. But when you come,
I think at the test level, the associate nations are nowhere close to West Indies. No,
they are not there, but
at white ball level, they are more than competitive and they're playing better than us. I think we have to make that distinction.
It's probably because they have players playing in different leagues all over the place, and they don't really have anybody playing, like first class cricket. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to help us, brother. I don't know.
I see some of the specialists saying that they want to, they will put aside but Andre Russell is not good anymore.
Put aside what?
Exactly.
Put aside the T20 contract to come back to
come back where?
Like Andre Russell.
After them have to take a huge pay cut and almost didn't get a contract for IPL. Man, them better go with their foolishness, yeah, man.
I thought that was so funny when I saw the story. And I was listening to a radio station here. And
man, they better go with that, yeah, man.
And to be honest, you're Jamaican and I'm proud of you, but you're not good anymore. You play like 3 leagues around the world this year and you have not performed with either ball nor bat.
Man, let me hear a little from Sir Ian before I go. Let them go with that because these people disappear for the entire year on World Cup time. Come hear them talk about how people throwing them on at the bus and now they want to put away. Man, and go here. Sir Ian, I don't even want to irritate with their foolishness. What say you, Sir Ian, as we look to run out of here?
Well, firstly, to close off.
Make sure you go to the game, firstly.
The game that coming. Of course, I would pick Gabriel to come in. And we only need one spinner. So if Sinclair comes in, as far as I'm concerned, he's a spinner. I don't know him as he could be all rounder, but there's only one.
Kevin Sinclair makes the team as a spinner. This season, his batting has come on and they tell him to keep working on it. But we don't want to hear them all run something. Kevin Sinclair is a spinner.
I'm not playing Cornwall because I don't want nothing to happen to the man and then and my conscience.
Yeah.
I think he needs to do a full executive medical.
Yeah.
And really let us know exactly what is his position as far as his respiratory system and everything. Because I am not a doctor.
Exactly.
I think based on what the kind of heat we have and so on, I don't think it will be fair to him. I mean, I know you want to play, but you know that your greatest asset could be your greatest liability to it.
Yep.
You want to do something, but you could put yourself at risk. So that is as far as that. So that is the team. I mean, Blackwood really, if he wasn't the vice captain, really shouldn't make the team.
And that is my problem, Sir Ian. I don't like them things when people only make the team because of positions. They need, but our cricket is so inconsistent. So when we see a man score a 150 or 140 or 130, you know, not 100. He score a 50 or a 30 there and a 40 there. You know, they give them a position in the team because the others are so inconsistent, and then, you know, it's problematic. As I, you know, he needs to score runs, man. I have said he needs to score runs. You're in the team as a specialist, but you have to score runs, man. You need to score runs.
And we have something in common, and what we have in common is we believe in specialist players. I don't believe in too many all-rounders.
Sir Ian, them need to stop the foolishness. But the problem, as I said, you know, is because our specialist batsmen make these guys, they said them are all rounder come and perform them in the regional tournament. So that's why the selectors selecting them. When I noticed they didn't have Kyle Mears in the squad, I was all right. They're going to pick 5 specialist batsmen now, play Jason Hall as the all-rounder and the bowlers. I was thinking that's what they were going to do, and you know they went a different way, and the man them have Raymond Refine at the team and have 2 speed. Then if you stop the foolishness.
And it's a closing off in Test cricket.
Yeah.
You have 5 specialist batsmen, a specialist wicketkeeper, and then you have 1 all-rounder possibly, and specialist bowlers at the tail. That's how it is. If you have 5 specialist batsmen, can't make the bulk of runs, in a mess. And that's the problem with West Indies right now.
Yep.
The 5 specialist batsmen failing all, from Graffit to Chanderpaul to whoever. And then they don't want to depend on I would even say they want to depend on Joshua De Silva. And Holder, because I don't consider Holder a specialist batsman.
Nope.
They want Joshua going downwards, Holder, them guys to make up for the downfall. The specialist batsmen have to make runs. And that is what I'll close off on as far as that is concerned. Yeah. All
right. If you are not Jack Callis, Ben Stokes, or Jason Hall in his heyday, you're not supposed to make West Indies team as all-rounder. They need to stop the foolishness. As 2 all-rounders. You can't have 2 all-rounders in the team if you are not if you are not Jack Callis. That don't make any sense. They need to stop it. But a lot of these sort of things you know, happen because a grassroots come right up. A whole lot of things that we keep on addressing, but we're gonna have to leave it right here for now, guys. Gonna have to run out of here. Thanks to all of the guys that came out, you know. Marlon, Jake, and Sir Ian. We had Sheldon earlier, Sachin. I think Frank was on and then he got kicked off. If you were there and you were trying to get on, I think maybe the panel was overloaded and that's why. But thank you all for coming out and checking this thing out. If you haven't seen the O'Shane Thomas interview as yet, you know, it's here on the channel. You can take a look at it and hear what the young man had to say. We're going to leave it right here for now. Let's continue to stay safe, everybody. Thank you all for the support. Blessings.
Blessings.
All right. Jacob.